the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What do all men in power want? More power.
My name is Gianluca Zanna. I was an Italian by birth, and I became an American by choice. Our lives and freedoms are in danger. This is not a drill. If you're listening to this broadcasting, you are the resistance.
All systems go.
Welcome to Love, Guns, and Freedom. Here we go, guys. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM and on United States to the FM network. Another Sunday, another show. I want to say, the last Sunday and the last 2 Sundays in a row, we've been focusing a lot on the campaign in Nuove County about the county sheriff. It's getting very nasty, I'm telling you. I like to try to be detached a little bit, and I try to be professional. The idea for me, as I said, I am not even anymore a Republican, so I'm here as a person that my goal is to give the microphone to everybody who has something to say that is in the interest of the public, okay? Of course, I got my opinion, as you know. But at the same time, if you have a point to make about a candidate, of course, I don't want slandering people. I like to always bring facts. And I also like to invite the other side. All I'm saying, this is the purpose of the show. And I like to also keep it always, even when I disagree with people, after all, it's just freaking politics. And don't get me wrong, it's a big word, because after all, politics is the way we can live our life, the way we can choose what we eat, how we dress even, and how to completely be a free human being or be slaves. That's what comes down to politics. But at the same time, I think we need to keep it in perspective. So that's why I always say, come on the show, and I always want to invite people who have a disagreement with me. I want to invite you. I want you here. And if you are on Facebook, for example, you have some problem about you think that I'm doing something that is not right, or you don't like what I do, I'm not hiding from you. I invited you. And I want to say one more time, I had the wife of the candidate for sheriff, Mr. Schuster. On the Facebook, she said that after the last interview about Corey Merriman being sued, another candidate for sheriff, by this businessman in Nuove County, I was being somehow partial to her. Guess what? I don't even want to debate you on Facebook. I invite you here, you and your husband running for sheriff, and bring me the facts, and I also serve you some coffee, some of my great Zanna coffee, and some Italian biscuits. So we can talk about that as civil people. And by the way, after I invite you here, and you don't come, and of course, not only you don't come, you block me on Facebook, and your husband unfriend me, doesn't really bring you points. If you throw a rock and you start this sort of, accusation, and I'm not even throwing rocks back at you, I just invite you here as a person open to, I really want to hear what I did wrong. Please come. And you run, you don't look that good, eh? Not really. Anyway, but that's another story. Now, we got bigger problems. All problems, they're important. Federal elections. As you know, I completely gave up my Republican Party card more than 2 years ago. And I'm very happy. I burned the card. Don't get me wrong. This is the way the game is being played. You got to pick some sort of a team. My problem was that I realized a long time ago that both teams, they're on top by the same masters. And you can see that. Will you see any difference from Obama and Bush? Not really. Obama just did exactly what Bush did, 10 times worse. Now it comes down to this situation that regardless about what you think about Trump or not, you may be a supporter or not, let's face the reality exactly also what this Republican Party has been doing. And it's been exposed finally doing it. Disregarding exactly what the people want. The same story also on the Democrat side. Look, as much as I hate seriously the idea of a socialist Sanders, but it's not really different from another pretty much cronyist capitalist Clinton, look what exactly the Democrat Party did too. Sanders get all the votes by the people, and Hillary, by magic, get all the delegates. So there is some sort of it's an illusion. I really believe these elections, they're just to pacify us. And now what they've been doing to Trump, regardless you like him or not, that's not even the point. It's an insult. It's an insult to the American people when they completely ignore, in the same party, they normally, they always back any candidate, no matter who is, they need to back up the Republican candidate. Now, you hear the Bush, you hear, all these other, Paul Ryan, all these other worms, seriously, they're playing worms, okay? That's all I can say on the radio. I would like to say more. disgusting worms that they completely say they're going to vote probably for Hillary. I mean, that's not a show you. Now, I want to bring on a guy that I've been knowing. He's not a guy, he's a man I've been knowing for a long time, and he's a great activist, especially in the legal immigration movement, against the illegal immigration movement. Exactly his name is Little Dog, and I like to call him Robert. Honestly, I don't like the dog part too much, but it's Little Dog from the Minuteman. Robert, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Long time not talking to you, man. Last time you've been on the show, almost probably 1.5 years. You put me in trouble, because I couldn't edit fast enough. When you talk, you get mad. But we will do better today. Listen to me. First of all, congratulations. I heard that you are a state delegate for the state of Nevada for Donald Trump, correct?
Yes, I'll be up in Carson City this weekend voicing my opinion.
Very good. Now, so you're the perfect person, because I really want to talk here as Americans, we are facing probably the most important elections of our time. I really believe that Ronald Reagan said, we are one generation away from complete tyranny, something like that. I think we are now one election away from complete hell. But my point is, does it really matter? Does really, it is an illusion, or there is something that we can still do through the process of the president? So first of all, I want to say, witnessing in first person all the different shenanigans, and I say fraud, for me it's a fraud, that the Republican Party at top level in Washington is being playing against Trump. What do you think as a Republican about this situation?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Luca. To me, it shows fear. Donald Trump has got, the mystery kind of background. Of course, he's a billionaire, and he's a financier, and he's a, mega contractor and whatnot. Being an illegal immigrant advocate or an advocate for border security, he has my vote. I don't care about his philosophy on, anything else other than it seems to be on the political plate in America today. Abortion, Planned Parenthood, none of it. None of it's important to me. For 10 years, I've stood on the border praying to the sweet baby Jesus that we get somebody that will step up to the plate and secure our border. And this man, Donald J. Trump, has come out and said that he will build a wall and he will make Mexico pay for it. Now, I watched the interview he had with Vicente Fox, prior to him catching the Super Tuesday. And then immediately after the Super Tuesday voting, where he landslided East Coast and turned it red, here comes Vicente Fox with his tail between his legs, trying to get Donald Trump to meet him and Donald Trump, his reply was, "Get your wallet."
Okay.
Because the wall is going in, and we are going to secure the border.
Okay. Now, let me ask you one thing. 1 second only. This is really, I tell you, what it says today about illegal immigration, I agree with you. You know that. We stand on the same side.
Yes.
My only concern, I want to be honest, because, I wish that 80%, even 60% of all the things that he's saying today is going to be the things he's going to do tomorrow. The problem that, for example, in illegal immigration, I found more than one clip in the not much more, probably that 10 years ago, 8 years ago, about his stance on illegal immigration when he was asked about the deportation, and he was completely against that. And I understand everybody can change. We were all ignorant at some point, but there are many things that I am kind of questioning. How really can somebody change so much so fast? So are you aware of that the position about illegal immigration, especially the, let's say, the amnesty factor and the idea to deportate illegal aliens? A few years ago, Trump is on record, and he was completely in favor to skip and do an amnesty. Are you aware of that part?
Yes, absolutely. But that was a long time ago. Now we're facing different times, different, how do they say, circumstances alter cases like broken noses alter faces. And I think Donald Trump understands the problems in depth is with the illegal immigration issues having an effect on our economy and our society as a whole. Now, it's my theory, my belief, that come November, once Mr. Trump is elected, we are going to see massive self-deportation As you can tell by the massive protests going across the nation, most of these are put together by George Soros, Move On, and the La Raza and the Mincha. And these are the anti-American globalists, the Reconquista concept about America. Well, like I said, whenever Trump's position on any other topic that's going on in America today, it, to me, is irrelevant. If he's going to come in here and he's going to put a wall up or support the United States Border Patrol and turn the tide on making America great again, in essence of putting America back for Americas, he's got my vote. Like I said, I'm a delegate. I'll be up in Carson City this coming weekend. My wife and I are taking 9 days. We're going to Tahoe and hang out for a few days, and we'll go to the convention. And then hopefully, and our prayers are answered, he will become the president, the 45th president of the United States of America. And I believe in my heart of hearts that he will step up to the plate and complete the things that he's promised. I believe that. I really do.
Listen, at this point, the sad thing that we are right now in this situation, we are between the hammer and the anvils. I mean, seriously, we are between a question mark Trump that we pray that at least on some issues is going to confirm and, keep the promise of what he's saying right now during the election. And I tell you, there are other things, as you say, we don't agree on him, I tell you, but that's not even the point. If we focus right now on immigration, and then we have other side, we have somebody that should spend right now at least time in jail, being under investigation. We're talking about Hillary Clinton, that anybody else would have done a tenth of what she did.
She
would be already
locked away for life.
Yeah, seriously. And
any common man or woman had attempted or done anything that's been done by the Clinton Foundation or by Hillary Clinton, they'd have to pump daylight to us, brother. It'd be over.
Exactly.
And you know as well as I do.
So this is between Benghazi and between all the other things she's been supposed to be charged, she's still out there smiling and somehow laughing at us. And then we have a declared socialist, Sanders, that's another thing that scares the hell out of me. Seriously, thinking about that 90% or more of what we work for, they're going to be pretty much taking it from us. And the government owns us. We're going to be complete slaves, really. When I say...
We pretty much are right now, so we've got to break these shackles. We've got to get ourselves into a position where this is the last grace chance for America, Luca.
Oh, I understand.
And you and I know we went through the Bush thing. Now we've suffered through the Obama administration. It's time for change for America. And I believe, like I said before, and I reiterate, in my heart of hearts, I believe Donald J. Trump is the answer to the call, the answer to our prayers. For 10 years, I stood at Patriot Point down there on the border, begging for help. I mean, even from the Bush administration to the Obama administration, and all I saw was more traffic and less protection. And I'm praying to God in heaven that Donald Trump will reverse this process. If nothing else, let's turn the Border Patrol loose. Let them do their jobs. That's the problem. We need the Border Patrol to be able to function to their full extent of their abilities. And the problem is that they're not. This Obama machine is handcuffed the Border Patrol, and the Border Patrol is what's protecting our families at night. And people in America, they don't even realize what the Border Patrol does. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They look at the Border Patrol as another entity of the DHS. Well, they don't realize that the first line of defense on our borders in the middle of the night are the United States Border Patrol.
I completely understand one thing. We are like a bleeding nation right now. That means really we have no more skin. And the skin is our borders, okay? Intentionally is being broken.
You're right.
And without the borders, we never can control, first of all, even the integrity of our political system. When we're going to have now millions or more people already here, by de facto, by amnesty, being able to vote, we the American people, we're going to be completely excluded from the picture. And all they need to do, enough zombies out there brainwashed by the TV, and they can control them very easily and remind them that this is the democracy in their mind. So 51% of the zombies can pretty much steal all the rights of the rest of the American people. So I really believe that as much as I'm much libertarian in many other issues, on this one I completely not agree with the Libertarian Party. We must have real borders. We must have a real immigration system. Otherwise, we lose our sovereignty. And unfortunately, this is not a country like in our founding fathers. There were no welfare. Now every illegal aliens that comes here, they can get so many benefits, and we are forced to pay with the extorted money from our tax dollar. So this is no more like the America of 1700. You come here, if you make it, you make it. If you don't make it, you come back. No, you come here, and they start to suck the blood out of us. So we gotta stop this. That's for sure. I pray with you, seriously. If one thing really, Trump would be honest in the future to keep his word of what he's saying today, not what he used to say the last 8 years or 10 years ago, at least on the legal immigration, to do it right. And I tell you, would be a start for sure.
I believe he's going to do it, Luca. I really do. I'm so involved. I'm so committed and so convinced that I'm actually a delegate for him, and if I might even end up in Ohio with the national. Depends on what goes on here in Carson City.
Now,
but that's how deeply I am involved in this. There's a couple of things that Trump has got going for him that makes me stand up for him. A is his stand on border security, and his desire to get the political prisoners released and turn the properties back over to the states. And get away from this BLM overreach and the federal government overreach is going on in our lands in America. And like I say, I think he is going to be the last great hope. If we don't pull this off, if Trump does not get elected by, either hook or crook or the elitist shenanigans that they're pulling, there won't be any more elections in America. I really believe that with all my heart.
I mean,
America is doomed.
Jeb Bush, it's a complete, neocon Republican. He said it on record that he's not going to support or vote for Trump. So I think at this point he may well vote probably for Hillary, I guess. And what's happening here, Luca, is the New World Order cabal is showing their feathers. They're showing their colors. I mean, they're running scared. Look at the Bushes. They're not going to vote. They're not even going to the convention. Paul Ryan coming out saying that he can't support Trump at this time. Come on, give me a break. These are the New World Order globalists that have taken control of our administration that we have to remove. And even if it means arresting them or whatever it's going to take. We sat through 2 years when we took back the House and the Senate 2 years ago, when we turned the House and the Senate red. Now we have to take the executive office back and turn it red too. We've got to get away from this liberal, progressive, socialist mindset that's being embedded into the kids in America, and it's causing the trauma across the board in this country. Robert, I have only one question. As you said, the Congress, red, and that was blue. By the end of the day, it's a funny red. Honestly, it's a dye red because, look, we got all these Republicans in Congress, starting from the Tea Party movement a few years ago, and they all stab us in the back. I mean, look at Paul Ryan, look at Bonner.
These are the elitists. These are the globalists that are, they've got blackmail going, they've got pressure going, they're buying the votes. They're buying, this is corruption at the highest levels, amigo. We're looking at corruption at the highest level, right into the executive office. I mean, how can America sit back and believe that Benghazi was caused by a video? Yeah. I mean, we all know, people who were born, not last night, or, realize that there's more to it than just,
But even before we go to about what was caused, the fact that they could have given a chance to these people that they were on the ground, to the ambassador, to be saved.
My theory is Ambassador Stevens was getting ready to blow the whistle on the arms deals.
Yes, that's a fact, by the way.
Scalia dead. Brian Terry dead. I mean, the list is huge. I mean, where do we want to start?
Yeah.
These are all people that have stood for America and have been tromped on by this globalist elite faction in power right now. And we have to get control of our country back. And Donald Trump, in my heart of hearts, I believe that he will do that.
Now, at this point, the good thing about it, that we will see pretty soon, and I just hope if it's true, I hope they're not going to try to kill him, because I tell you, if there is so much...
That's an extreme possibility, my friend. I pray for him daily.
Yep.
The elitists are terrified. They're going to lose their little golden box that they have put together over the decades. And once Trump gets in office, and he will get in office, he will change the direction of this country. It's like a big ship. You know, it's not going to turn on a dime. It's going to take a few years, but he'll turn the boat around. He's going to make America great again. I certainly believe that with all my heart.
Listen, I want to be honest. You know, a lot of things about Trump, even today, beside what used to be, and now he changed his mind, that, you know, I'm not really fan of. But I must tell you one thing I like about it, it seems like you're really irritating the hell out of the Republican Party, and I like that. You know, that one thing.
The smell of fear is so deep in the air, Luca. They're terrified. They're terrified of Trump election.
I just hope it's true and it's not another wrestling match. You know, sometimes they set up this almost chess game, the globalists, you know, they want to make us believe something, then they lead us in that direction and we fall for it. But we don't really have any other chance besides, you know, probably going to a party that we know is not going to have a chance right now, as much as I agree with many points, but the Libertarian Party right now is not going to fix it. You know, we're going to give the vote to Hillary.
Look at our options. Look at our options, Luca. Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton.
I know. It's scary, man.
Obvious.
It's scary. It's scary.
It's very scary. It's terrifying.
No, and another thing, really, I'm concerned, you know, not only the illegal immigration from south of the border or wherever they're from, the fact that now we are facing, let's see, it was bugging here, the fact that we are facing these hordes of planned invasion from Muslim countries. This is not about helping refugees. This is about a planned invasion to take over America from within, like a fifth column, you know, like happened already in Europe. And look at now in England now, listen, you can be any religion you want, that's fine. But when you have a religion that tells you that you're better than me and I need to be subjected and I need to be, let's say, subdued and converted or by force or by free will, I have a problem with that religion. So for me, it's very important that we must at least keep a tab who's coming here, and we don't want to create a group only that is going to take over another group and supposed to be an assimilation. And, you know, that's the point. So one thing I tell you about Trump I like, that is the only one that has the balls to talk about stopping this completely flood of refugees that on top we are paying for them. It's insane. I mean, but that's the point.
Yes, it's exactly insane. It's absolutely insane. We're paying for our own demise.
Exactly. So I hope that's right there. It's very important. But let me
see, I used to always say secure the border. You know, I was always concentrating on the southern border. Now I've changed my venue. Now it's secure the borders. With the election of Trudeau and the importation of all the Syrians he's got coming into Canada, they're going to be seeking refuge in America through our northern borders now, because our northern borders are less secure than the southern border has ever been. Mm-hmm. So my biggest fear now is we're going to be catching this invasion into the northern states from the radical Muslim element that's been pumped into Canada. Yeah. People are totally oblivious to the fact that, you know, we all concentrate on the southern border issue, which is huge. Don't get me wrong. It's a massive problem on the southern border, but I got a feeling we got a bigger problem developing on our northern borders through, you know, Idaho and Montana up in the northern quadrant and Washington State.
But you know what? I think you're right. You're right. This northern border, but now at this point, every border, but more important, we already bringing them here by pretty much Obama amnesty. Even it's not an amnesty, this refugee program that is a completely a takeover. I mean, we are paying for their tickets. There is no any type of vetting, no background check. I mean, I tell you something. I got my mom trying to bring here to America, okay, with a visa, right. And I'm a naturalized American, and normally it should be pretty easy. I'm going through so much pain in the butt and paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And I say, you know what, Mom, you should go to Syria, put yourself a little burqa on, learn a couple of, yeah, seriously, get a couple of words of whatever Arabic you must learn, and then go to Mexico and cross the border and wave Obama leaflet and, you know, say, I love Obama. You're going to get free pass.
They'll put her on welfare, put her on Social Security, and give her Obamacare.
No, seriously, but the interesting thing is it's already happening right now. I mean, we have, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of refugees. They're getting free fare, free airplanes, $1,000 Walmart card. That was the latest one. They got lawyers paid by our tax dollar. They don't even need to go any type of background check, really. They just bring them here. And we don't really know who they are. But my point, even if I knew who they are, there is a point that if we want to create really the melting pot, and this is not like Luca Redneck born in Alabama, okay? I was born in Rome and I still have an accent. So I was even born here. My point is, I believe in the melting pot. I don't believe in one pot made just of one soup. The point is,
Right.
when we get for example, about the refugees, more than 95% of the refugees, they're just Islamic, okay? Muslims.
Yeah, we don't know who they are.
And
now
we
he's telling America he's going to have 10,000 in here by September.
Yeah.
He's also now offering $13,000 some a month to illegal immigrant children.
Yeah,
and that's more than I make on my retirement. And I'm retired and I get a good check, but
Yeah.
I don't make $13,000 a year on it.
Yeah, and this is my point. You know, we by design, this man, of course, they're just the puppet Obama, but the people behind, they want to destroy America. They're bringing all this one group, like in Europe, and they want to use the Muslim. You know, you say the radical Muslim. I'm sorry. If you read the book word by word, and you're a true believer, like, you know, or you accept it all, or you don't accept it. You don't just pick and choose. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
you know, I don't have any problem with any religion. I don't even talk about religion on this show. Seriously, I keep it for myself. But when we have a
Right.
religion that in their books states that their goal is to submit the rest of the world, pretty much, and if you are not a follower of this religion, you are an infidel, and you have three options: or you're going to be converted by force, or you're going to be paying a tax, okay, or you're going to be chop your head. That's pretty much the
Yeah.
idea. So this is a kind of no, and it's proven. Look in Sweden, look in Germany, look what they're doing. They don't assimilate. They live by the standard. They want the Sharia law, and even the people that they are less extreme, let's say they are more, I don't know, open-minded. But at the end of the day, they must follow their book. So I have a serious problem with that, because I think their book is not really compatible with our Bill of Rights. That's my problem.
No, it's not.
You know, that's the
No,
point.
they're here to dominate, not assimilate, and you can see through the La Raza programming, it's the same thing. The Reconquista concept is in full effect. The youth and the Hispanic youth that are wrapped up in the La Raza project, they burn American flags, and you know. I don't have to tell you, you know their mindset. They want America to be Mexico. Now the Muslims want this to be under Sharia law. It's time for the American people to stand up and say enough's enough. And the way to do that is by the ballot box. And by God, if we can't do it by the ballot box, I'm afraid it's going to be by the bullet box. And I don't want to see that happen, my friend. You know that.
I know that.
I want this to be as peaceful as possible.
Speaking about violence, you know, I never really, lately I didn't go to events, but I've been watching it on TV. It's kind of amazing. Never happened before with any other candidates, really. Even the the worst that we had before. But I never seen all this organized, planned. This is not spontaneous, really. There were big groups behind these protests. That, you know, always say, you know, it's good to protest. It's part of your right, but your protest right stops when you infringe on my rights to attend an event. So when somebody starts to block a highway and you start to throw rocks at my car, you got a big problem there. Okay.
That's right.
So I mean,
these guys are financed, and this organized by the Hillary crew, the Move On George Soros organization. They want the New World Order. They want NAFTA, SHAFTA. They want the American sovereignty gone, and they'll do anything and everything they can to make that happen. That's why I fear for Donald Trump's life. I really do.
In Nevada, where you are you in Vegas area? Where are you exactly?
Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas.
Perfect. So when did you go to event or any type of meeting? Probably did you go to see me live lately, right? I mean, did you go to meet?
I was at a convention here in Las Vegas. There was no protesters. Actually, my wife being Hispanic, we hooked up with some like-minded Hispanics that were voting for Trump, and she has got kind of a system going now, hashtag this Mexican's voting for Trump, and she's catching a lot of traction on it here in Clark County. The thing is, a lot of people in Clark County, Nevada, we know Nevada has been a kind of like a center focal point for a lot of the resting spot for the illegals because of, landscaping, work's available and whatnot. But you're seeing a backlash across the county and through the state where they're tired of it. I want to see a situation where we don't have to press one for English no more. I mean, I'm sick and tired of the colonization that's going on within the nation. And that's exactly what's going on, Luca. They're trying to colonize our country. They're trying to browbeat us into submission. Like I said, I'm praying for a ballot box resolution, but if things go sideways and Trump should get injured or hurt or get out of it, and Hillary or Sanders should take control of the helm, I believe that we're looking at a violent revolution within the country, and I believe that with all my heart. And I don't want to see that happen. That's why I'm spending so much energy, so much time, and so much money on pushing for the Trump election. We gotta get this thing. We gotta get some common sense back into how the country's operated. We got to shut down the borders. We got to turn back the Muslim invasion. We got to concentrate on America, on the American people. We're in a tailspin, Luca, and have been for decades. I mean, this goes back, even back to before Bush, So now's the opportunity. Now we have the opportunity to make a significant change in the progress of this nation, the direction of our travel. We have to think about our kids and our grandkids and the future of this nation. And that's a fact, my friend.
Listen, I just hope, I tell you, I want to be very honest. I want to be hopeful that 30% of the things that is saying today is going to stick tomorrow, and and this is not just another plan to deceive us, like, for example, the big change from 8 years of Bush, that even the Republicans finally will start to wake up of the fraud that this man was doing, and everybody by jerk reaction, like they went to Obama and they were ignoring his voting record. So I just hope that there is really some, let's say, truth in the things that he's saying. Even if I don't agree with everything, at least in few things that he's saying, we need them right now. I really believe we need to, before we try to fix anything, we need to close these borders to see who's in this country,
Absolutely. I mean, look what's going on. Mitt Romney and all these globalists are all stepping up against Trump. And what they're doing is they're showing their colors. And these are the people that we thought at one time would be great representatives. Paul Ryan, I thought he would be a great vice president, and I thought Romney would be a great president.
No, I never thought that.
What a joke. What a joke, you know what I mean?
With Romney...
Obama, and that's even a bigger joke. Now we have the opportunity to change the direction of the travel of this nation, and we have to rally behind Donald Trump. Like I say, whatever his policies are, his thoughts on, or anything else in the political realm, I don't care. I don't care. If he can make Vicente Fox apologize to him and tell Vicente Fox that the wall got 10 feet high and mean it, and I believe he means it, and I believe Mexico will pay for the wall, or maybe not a wall, but a virtual wall, or at least turn the Border Patrol loose where they can get a grip on what's going on. And that, to me...
Well, one thing I tell you, I understand. No, this is important. I wish another thing he would have really touched, like unfortunately nobody else but Ron Paul did at the time, was the real master of right now who owns our country. And it's not just today. This has been since 1913. The reality that we have a central bank called Federal Reserve, and is as federal as a Federal Express. And at the end of the day, we pretty much had to pay interest on every dollar they create out of thin air. And we had to back that interest with real work. It's called income tax. So I wish Trump would address that, but it seems like nobody wants to address it. Listen, just to change 1 second topic from Trump to a reality that unfortunately is very serious right now. A few years ago, we were talking about FEMA, and of course Homeland Security, even worse, with this new civilian force that they were like a bunch of kids, probably in their 16s. And by the way, it's funny that there was an article on Time magazine at the time. On the cover, you can see these Homeland Security young recruits, all dressed up like, almost some sort of futuristic movie. All they were carrying these soft air rifles and simulating some sort of tactical training. And they were saying this is the new Homeland Security for domestic terrorists. And people used to laugh at that. And this was, by the way, not a conspiracy. It was on the cover of Time magazine. And something interesting was that most of these little wannabe Gestapo kids, on their photo, at least on the main photo, I don't know, maybe it's a coincidence, and I don't care if you're white, black, or brown, I couldn't care less, but they have their problem. I was looking at most of these kids, they look like not Caucasian. They look mostly like minorities or whatever you want to call them, And now people, they were laughing that 5-6 years ago, I'd like to remind that these are official documents, and this is also part of the Obamacare implementation. These kids now, from 16 years old, and from the air rifle, they graduated to probably M16 or MP5, and they are right now probably in their 20s. Okay, so we already hear the civilians' national security force, just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded, is out of the mouth of the ass there. Okay, so what do you know anything else about that? Is something that could be, we should really be concerned right now, especially that now we implementing it with the billions of rounds of and the military vehicle in every police station and things. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that Jade Helm that went on here a few months back was pre-positioning military equipment in key locations across the nation, and I believe that President Obama is working covertly to supply sleeper cells across the nation. I know for a fact, as being my experience on the border, I have seen groups of 10 and 20 young men marching in military formation across the border. Have called the Border Patrol and had them vanished, where the Border Patrol had never even knew that they were there. Now, whether it's complacency, whether it's they're involved, I can't answer that. But I have seen. I mean, I'm ex-military myself. I'm 7th Infantry. I'm ex-infantry. I know what a formation looks like. I know what how to march. And I've seen groups of 10s and 20 marching across the border in California and in Arizona and in New Mexico and in Texas. So you can't tell me that there aren't sleeper cells already embedded within the inner cities across the nation that aren't being supported by this corrupt machine that's in the White House. And I believe that with all my heart.
No, I agree. I agree. I really believe we've been already invaded, and the fifth column, it's already here. We have Chinese troops already on U.S. soil, training in New York and stationed also in Hawaii for the first time in U.S. history. Means why we go there and provoke them, but at the same time we bring them here. We have a FEMA agreement in 2012, I think it was December, was out of the article of the New American, directly from the FEMA.gov website, that FEMA, in case of any national emergency, will use Russian special troops on U.S. soil to keep the peace. And we know very well now who we have the last 8 years at the White House. I think is a complete Trojan horse that is, first of all, is completely destroying our military psychologically, morally, and of course also we had the lowest level of defense, before World War II. We completely abolished, by the way, our air defense system at the southern border. Now we relying on Mexico, and we are neutering also the stand of our soldiers, bringing the women, everything else. And now we have already, in my opinion, foreign troops on U.S. soil. And that point could be NATO, could be Russia, we don't know. But if they want to disarm the American people, they will use these troops. And I really believe since Mr. what is his name, Kerry, the scumbag, Secretary of State, in 2013.
He just said a speech at a college last week where he told the college students to be prepared for a borderless nation.
Wow.
The audacity.
Wow.
The audacity.
Wow. That's on the open. They're implementing it. But I really believe that's why, because of people like you, and I put myself in too, because, I stand with you, especially on this topic, sovereignty, they want us out. And if they cannot die us out, they will come to try to get our guns. They will try to also physically eliminating us. And I really believe what you said, these special groups of sappers, or whatever you want to call them, they're already infiltrated here. And I really believe they already got down names and places and people. Because the first people they want out is people like you, veterans. They got already your list down of all the millions of veterans. And remember when a few years ago, there was a computer laptop lost by accident. I think it was a fast food by one of these government high-rank bureaucrat with the 25 million records of all the U.S. veterans and with addresses and type of diseases and medical condition, and it was lost. What do you think about that? That's not like giving to the enemy.
I think that's pretty convenient for the left wing and the progressives and the radicals that want to take away the nation. I think that's pretty convenient for them. Like I said, I'm 65 years old, and I've been in the trenches now for the past decade on this illegal immigration issue. And as long as Trump is this gentleman is going to stand up and say we will secure the border. He's got my vote, Luca. He's got my vote. I'll go to the grave with him if I have to.
All right, man. Lista, good luck for your experience as a state delegate, and we'll see what happens. I really believe something it may happen anytime, because if this is really genuine, they don't want to let it happen. Regardless that we like him or not, if he's really out of their control, Donald Trump, they don't want this let it happen. So I really hope nothing's going to...
We have to pray for Donald Trump, and we have to pray for America, Luca.
All right, my friend. Listen, my best to you and your lady, and congratulations again for your experience as a marriage, okay?
Thank you. I'm loving it.
Very good. So, listen, maybe, you know what, give me a call after your situation at the convention. Let me know what happened. I really would like to know also what tricks the Republican Party is trying to play on you guys, because this is disgusting for me now, what they're doing.
They're trying to steal the delegates. That's why it's so important that we go, that when I make appearance in Carson City this week, coming weekend, it's imperative that we stand our ground.
Very good.
To show them that the people are going to be behind him 100%.
All right, very good. Lisa, let you go. Thank you, my friend. I'll keep you posted. Thank you. Okay, guys, you're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna. Don't go away, because we're going to have an exciting final part of the first hour. I have with me, came all the way from Phoenix, Paul Wittenberger. Yes, not only is this great guy, he does great documentaries about what in the world is praying, and so many beautiful movies and documentaries about what's going on in the world, but also is helping me out sharing the Zanna coffee around the world, and I really appreciate his help. But today he came for another reason. He came because he went all the way up here, to test and try and shoot the Don't Trade on Us, the Freedom Rifle by Zanna, the most affordable military grade AR-15 in the M4 configuration, chamber in the 223 Wild that you can shoot 5.56 NATO and also 223, 4 minutes of angle, and that's amazing, without benches. So we had a great time at the range, and we talk a little bit about what's going on with the latest documentary. So don't go away, you're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna.
Don't tread on us.
Do you want social justice? Now I give you social justice. The Zanna way. Don't Trade on Us, the Freedom Rifle by Zanna. The most affordable military-grade semi-automatic AR-15 rifle in M4 configuration, chambered in 223 Wild, that can shoot both 5.56 NATO and 223 Remington. 4 minutes of angle for just $499, made in the USA. Get your Freedom Rifle now. We need every law-abiding American armed with knowledge and at least one military rifle, ready to defend good against evil. With every Don't Trade on Us rifle, you will get free parchment replica of the United States Constitution, free digital CD Don't Trade on Us, free ebook How to Become a Rifleman, free t-shirt Slaves Are Never Armed, I Am Not a Slave, free 30 rounds magazine where allowed by the law, free laser engraved ejection port Don't Trade on Us, for just $499. Go to www.freedomrifle.com, www.freedomrifle.com. Get your Freedom Rifle now. Okay guys, guess where I am? I'm in my kitchen today. Guess what? Yes, we are broadcasting from the kitchen, and you're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna, and I am preparing one espresso. Here we go. Can you hear some noise? And I am not by myself. Today I am with a friend. Came all the way from Phoenix, and guess what? His name is Paul Wittenberger. And you know Paul, I already had him on my show a few times, and he's a movie producer, documentary producer, director. What in the World They're Spraying. I'm sure you heard about that documentary. Honestly, it's one of my favorite about weather modification chemtrails. And today he came here to support me, not me, but what I'm trying to do is not about me. It's about also the radio show and the activism we're trying to do. Not only is helping me out to distribute the coffee, the Zanna coffee, but today he wanted to try it out, the Don't Trade on Us rifle. So we went to the range, and we had a great time. And guess what? He also bought a beautiful Don't Trade on Us rifle for himself. And we're going to talk right now together. Meanwhile, I'm cranking my little espresso too. This is like a different type of radio show. We don't just shoot from the studio, but in real life. Here we go. That's the machine, my little espresso machine. Here we go. And Paul, right now it's here. We are in the kitchen. How you doing, Paul?
Very good, Luca. Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, thank you for coming here from Phoenix, and thank you for everything you do. So first of all, how was your day? Did you enjoy the day?
Oh, it was really nice. I'm glad I came all the way here to pick up that rifle. And that when we went out there shooting today, it was really great to shoot that new rifle.
Yeah, I'm very excited because I tell you, I want to thank you because you've been in Arizona already for a while. I know that you have different other weapons, but that was, correct me if I'm wrong, I want to just be sure I got it down right, your first rifle, correct?
Yep, that's my first rifle.
So this is, for me, it's an honor because I tell you, you could have chosen many rifles out there. I'm just, I'm not even a gun manufacturer. I just had an idea. I wanted to put out an affordable quality rifle for every American. But after all, regardless the incredible price, just $499, what do you think about the quality?
Honestly, I was blown away by the quality, and not only is it affordable, but it shoots. It doesn't have a lot of kick. It's a great aim. It's a good rifle, and I'm really glad that I got one.
And I tell you something, not because I put it together. I'm still very much excited. And every time I shoot, I find the excitement, especially when I verify the accuracy of the rifle. We get the rifle we saw was completely not zero. We didn't have much time. We just messed around for 10 minutes, and we got a group who was less than 1 square inch, 25 yards with iron sight. So that was pretty neat. It wasn't a fake. You were a witness, and I had other friends.
Yep, I'm here to prove that it's true.
And I'm not even incredible. I'm just above the average. Qualifies a rifle, but still, I don't shoot every day like I wish. So everybody can do that. Now, first of all, what's going on in your business life, your activist life, or any project you're working on? I know you're working on a new documentary out there. What is?
Yeah, well, like a lot of people know, is I just got done releasing a new documentary called Fluoride Poison on Tap, and that movie really just exposes the danger of fluoride in the water. And so my new project I'm working on right now that I'm in production on is Babylon, USA. So that'll be coming out here probably in August.
And give us the short story. First of all, where did you get this name from? Maybe from the Bible. I know there was a part of the Bible. I'm not a super expert. I heard it was a Babylon, the new Babylon. What is exactly the topic? What do you talk about?
Well, the film is basically a film about Bible prophecy, but it also discusses, the New World Order and how that basically the United States is basically a Roman Empire or a Babylonian Empire. It's kind of turned into that, and so.
Any special guest? I know that you went traveling around the States. Who did you get?
We've interviewed about 14 different people, a handful of historians from around the country, different pastors and experts, and honestly, it's going to be a great film. I'm really proud of it so far, and I think it's going to be the best film I've ever produced.
Wow, very good, very good. I'm always excited because I tell you, it's like it's a journey. It's not just for you that you produce this, but also for us, for me as a viewer. You always learn something new. And I tell you, what I like most of the DVD format, I can share to other people because the goal is not just for us to learn. We want to learn and share. That's the only way we can reach critical mass and wake up the rest of the humanity and trying to work together. Because after all, what do you think really it's the final end game for this, not just the prophecy that we know technically read in the Bible, but what you really think also in the political arena and also in our real life arena? What exactly are we facing as humanity? What is the final end game?
Well, I think, honestly, I believe what the Bible says in the final end game is world government. And I think that, it's in the embryonic stages right now, but we can all see it being implemented. And I believe it will be implemented. And maybe not in our lifetime if we push back, but I think, eventually it will be because the Bible does prophesy that.
And I want to say something to the Christians that sometimes they surrender just because they say it's in the scripture. Maybe I'm not a perfect Christian, but I look at this, I believe, even not being an expert, Christ, even we know that we have to endure this suffering and pain, it's our duty as people and Christians, if you're a Christian, to also always expose evil, regardless the odds of what's happening in this dimension, regardless that we know that there is a moment that this world government will happen, and many of us maybe we may not even be making it through, I think it's still our duty to expose it and fight it and try never to surrender to evil. Don't you think that's the attitude? Or maybe we should just surrender because after all it's in the scripture, we gotta just let it go. What do you think?
No, I mean, I think we do need to fight back because honestly, every generation thinks that they're going to be the last generation, or they're going to be living in the end times. Like my dad used to say, he thought, the end times would happen in his lifetime, and so did his father, So we need to keep fighting back because we don't know when the end's going to be or, when these things will come to pass. So we need to fight back because, that's what we should be doing.
And also I think it's a test, regardless, this is just a limited time we're going to be here on this planet, okay? It's not like we are forever. Sometimes I look at this like almost like a test. And one day we're going to be asked, what did you do when you have a chance to stand for good? When did you, even people say, I didn't do anything, and that's not good enough. I think the people, regardless, silent is consent. So they need to start to speak up now, because I believe regardless what's going to happen in the next 50, 60, 80 years of this, our physical life, one day we'll be judged for eternity if we didn't do the right thing, I guess, when we had a chance like now. So this is just...
the Bible says life is but a vapor. It appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. And it's so true because we only are on this earth for a short period of time, and what are we going to do? Waste it watching television, or are we going to actually do something that matters?
Just sometimes people, I hate when they say, hey, nothing I can do after all. That's the plan that things going to go. It's almost the easy way out, the lazy way out, or the coward way out. Sorry, I don't want to pass judgment, but I really believe that when people say, I don't want anything because it's already been written and I just want to sit here, I'll be saved. I don't like that. I think we got to still fight always to expose evil and fight evil. Now, thinking about other projects, you got so many great ideas. I like because you got a good spirit of a free market, differently when we work for, I don't want to use always the government as an example, but it's true. The government doesn't use freedom. He always coerces you to do things. Here, you do put a product out, like you work very hard, you put one of your documentaries out, and after all, you don't force anybody to buy it. They buy it because they like it or they find good information. And then, you're able to be successful and do other documentaries. So it's a great spirit also of exactly what America, I think, is supposed to be or should be, the free market idea. Now, you do more than just documentaries. You also have a beautiful website that it's a shopping experience. You can buy incredible different things. I saw that from Roman coins, latest one, I really like it a lot. I need to probably buy one at least. And then you have incredible rare pages from the Bible. Tell us a little bit about your main website where people can go and find what you produce or what you sell.
Well, the name of my store is framingtheworld.com, and basically, I sell stuff that I believe in. So I obviously sell my movies because I believe in those and I make them, but I also sell other products like this new coffee that you came out with, Zanna coffee, because it's great coffee. Honestly, it's like one of the best coffees that I've ever tasted. And when you said, hey, Paul, I got this new coffee that I'm selling, I was a little skeptical. But once I tried it, and I'm kind of a coffee snob because I love coffee. I drink it every day. And this is just amazing coffee. My favorite is the Straight Shot Organic Espresso, but the 1776 is just right below it. They're both great coffees. And honestly, I highly recommend both.
And I would like to invite people, that's the idea. We help each other, we support each other. I want to have people like you that you helping me out. I want my customers, more important, my listeners, to go to your website so they can support not just my coffee, but also they support your activism. They can support you making movies, taking care of also of your family. Say again one more time the website, and also you have any special deal on this coffee going on?
Yeah, so the website is framingtheworld.com, and right now we do have a special where if you buy each of the bags, it's, I forget, but you get it for a cheaper price than just buying it one. The more you buy, obviously, the cheaper it gets, because yeah. Yeah,
and also we're working on a new, we try to improve, try to get bigger quantities so I can save on shipping and pass the saving on you also. So it's going to be incredible new price coming probably in the next 2 weeks. So check him out. It's going to be incredible price. Maybe you can buy a bag of coffee and buy also one of the new or the latest DVDs that he has out there. Now, listen to me. I want to say thank you very much for all you do. Thank you for coming up to here today. And I want to give you the floor. Anything you want to say about anybody or about anything you're doing, I give you 2 minutes.
Well, I just want to thank you, Luca, for having me on, and just really, honestly, people just need to wake up to what's going on in the world today and just realize that they need to do something. They need to share what they know with others. They need to stand up for what's right, because electing the next idiot to president is not going to fix things. They need to start at the local level and try to make a difference, whether it's through politics or through just through their beliefs and religion. But I encourage everyone to go to framingtheworld.com and check out what we're doing. I always have new products up on the store, and check out the new Freedom Rifle, which I think is, when I shot today, I was really blown away by it. So go to freedomrifle.com and you can check that out, and hopefully I'll be selling on my framingtheworld.com.
Hey, yes. You. Yes, I'm talking to you. You deserve a break. Enjoy a moment of indulgence. It's time for Zanna Coffee. Guilt-free pleasure. Zanna Coffee is the organic coffee to amplify your senses and enhance love for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Only the best organic and GMO-free coffee beans from around the world that I selected. Zanna Coffee brings you happiness in every cup. Fair trade certified, sustainable organic coffee. That means we do not use slaves. Free Zanna songs with every coffee bag. Find Zanna Coffee at www.zannacoffee.com. www.zannacoffee.com. Get your coffee bag now. Don't be cheap. Life is too short and you deserve the best. Zanna Coffee. It is that time again. 1776, the organic coffee to brew a revolution. Brought to you by Zanna Coffee. 1776 is the best organic and GMO-free coffee beans blend from around the world to amplify your senses and enhance love for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Zanna Coffee brings you happiness in every cup. Fair trade certified, sustainable organic coffee. Free Zanna songs with every coffee bag. Get 1776 at www.zannacoffee.com. www.zannacoffee.com. Don't be cheap. Life is too short. 1776.